The Rhind Papyrus was recorded by a scribe called Ahmes around 1650 BC, and its problems are concerned with finding solutions to everyday situations. Several of the problems mention bread and beer, which isn't surprising as Egyptian workers were paid in food and drink. One is concerned with how to divide 9 loaves equally between 10 people without a fight breaking out.
I've got 9 loaves of bread here. I'm going to take 5 of them and cut them into halves.
Of course, 9 people could shave a tenth off their loaf and give the pile of crumbs to the 10th person. But the Egyptians developed a far more elegant solution.
Take the next 4 and divide those into thirds. But 2 of the thirds I'm now going to cut into fifths, so each piece will be 1/15. Each person then gets 1/2 and 1/3 and 1/15. It's through such seemingly practical problems that we start to see a more abstract mathematics developing. Suddenly new numbers are on the scene, fractions, and it isn't too long before the Egyptians are exploring the mathematics of these numbers.
Fractions are clearly of practical importance to anyone dividing quantities for trade in the market. To log these transactions, the Egyptians developed notation which recorded these new numbers. One of the earliest representations of these fractions came from a hieroglyph which had great mystical significance. It's called the Eye of Horus. Horus was an Old Kingdom god, depicted as half man, half falcon.
According to legend, Horus's father was killed by his other son, Seth. Horus was determined to avenge the murder. During one particularly fierce battle, Seth ripped out Horus's eye, tore it up and scattered it over Egypt. But the gods were looking favourably on Horus. They gathered up the scattered pieces and reassembled the eye.
Each part of the eye represented a different fraction, each one half the fraction before. Although the original eye represented a whole unit, the reassembled eye is 1/64 short. Although the Egyptians stopped at 1/64, implicit in this picture is the possibility of adding more fractions, halving them each time, the sum getting closer and closer to 1, but never quite reaching it. This is the first hint of something called a geometric series, and it appears at a number of points in the Rhind Papyrus. But the concept of infinite series would remain hidden until the mathematicians of Asia discovered it centuries later.